This is not my gameplay. Just wanted to have some gameplay of what we're talking about in the background and why I talk about it. Okay? I'll actually leave a link to the original video in the description down below of this gameplay, so go watch that. But I recently made a video talking about why I like Tranzit, and I was unfair, I think. I said a lot of things that were incorrect, and I also missed a lot of things that I really wanted to say. Now what this video is going to be titled is what I'm about to talk about right now, and that's that I'm about to talk about things that made Tranzit bad. Because Tranzit was not a great map, and trying to get all the parts for certain items was tedious. Trying to open Pack-a-Punch, I think, was a great idea, like the way they did it, but I think it was just a little bit too complicated for certain people. They couldn't really figure it out. It's only 2 steps, but it's still something nobody would try if they didn't look it up first. I mean, I understand that completely. That's why I can't play Tranzit too much, because it is a little bit tedious. But if you don't like tedious maps that takes a long time, then you really won't like any of the new maps, like Shadows of Evil or anything. Shadows of Evil setup takes around an hour. Tranzit setup takes around 40 minutes. 30 minutes if you know where all the stuff is. So it isn't as complicated as some maps, and once you really get set up in Tranzit, it's just really fun to see how long you can survive, like running around town training zombies with Pack-a-Punch. But I defended Tranzit, but I also said that some maps, the way I defended Tranzit is I said that Tranzit was one of the first maps, I think it is the first map to include buildables, and that's like a big feature in Call of Duty Zombies now. You know, the Apothec Conservant, the Apothec Conservant, the Zombie Shield, the bows, the staffs, and Tranzit was the first one to elaborate on that, and just made it a popular thing that Treyarch decided to keep using. Now, I would never say that Tranzit was easy, because it's not. It is nowhere near easy. In the gameplay you see right now, you can literally see that there's a lot of zombies running, and you gotta watch all the windows and watch what's behind you. So in that aspect of it, yeah, it's hard, and that's just why I can't play certain maps, because they're hard. Like, I can't play Shadows of Evil for too long, because I find that map, upon setting up, a little bit too tedious, and like it gets repetitive and boring after a little while. And that's just really the same way with Tranzit. So I understand that idea about Tranzit. But if you actually, let me go and fix that error message. There we go. But if you want to do the argument that Tranzit's the only map with repetitive setups, then you're wrong, because there's a lot of other maps with repetitive setups, like Origins. I mean, I personally love Origins. It's an amazing map, but it takes really long to set up the staffs and everything else. It's really hard. I would definitely have to say that I have at least 20 hours in Tranzit, and I would say that half of that, and not even half of it setting up, but in Shadows of Evil I have at least like 40 hours, and I'm gonna go on and say more than half of that is setting up. And that's just, the map's good, but it's so hard to set up and everything. My personal opinion, Tranzit's not a bad map whatsoever. It's not one of the best either. I don't think people understood whenever I said that. I didn't say like I loved Tranzit, like it's my favorite map ever, but I like it. It's a fair map. My least favorite map ever, now that'd be hard. I don't think I really dislike any maps other than Ascension for like the Space Monkeys. It's really easy too, and like I don't really like really easy maps that are just so easy to set up, so easy to do. Challenge is good, but too much challenge is bad, that you stress out too much. Zombies is about having fun, And Ascension is just way too easy, and you can't really have any fun with it because it's so boring. You're just sitting there, and all you need is Juggernog, Jet Gun, and that's all you really need. You can get PhD Flopper to Dolphin Dive off the little area right there and just blow all the zombies up if you really want to, but you don't have to have that. Not the Jet Gun, the Thunder Gun. I don't know why I said Jet Gun. My God. But yeah, I don't love Transit. I think it's a fair map. I think it's not one of the best, but it should be in the middle, not at the worst map ever made. I also get that the fog and the denizens and the lava's annoying. I understand that, but once you get over all that, I think it's a pretty good map.